Time magazine just announced the 100 most influential people of 2025. Wait, why is Blake Lively there?
Blake Lively slammed for disgusting and embarrassing inclusion on Time 100 most influential people list.
In a list meant to honor influence, somehow Blake Lively made the cut. Maybe Time mistook Instagram filters for activism, or maybe they just ran out of people who actually did something last year and thought, you know who's been really influential in the world of pretending to eat cupcakes on Pinterest? Blake.
And the only reason that they donated this money is because after multiple times, after year, they had been getting slammed and receiving so much backlash for their plantation wedding.
Lively is, and calling her a titan. A titan is defined by a person of very great strength, intellect, or important.
Because really, what is Blake Lively if not a brand dressed up as a human? She's the rich girl next door who somehow convinces you she shops at Trader Joe's and burns her own. Candles. The kind of woman who'll drop $10,000 on a custom Dior Met Gala look and then post a quirky selfie captioned, "Oops, spilled wine on my dress, lol."
So yesterday, the news broke that Blake Lively is one of the most influential people in the world. She is on the top 100 list that Time magazine. And the person who wrote about Blake Lively is a civil rights activist, Sherilyn Ifill. I had to look at her Instagram to see who she was and who she is, and a lot of other people have gone through her Instagram already.
Her entire existence is engineered relatability. She's not actually quirky. She's just been told it sells. She plays the innocent wife with perfect hair and perfect kids. The woman who's just so blessed to be married to Ryan Reynolds.
The funniest thing is that the reason why Blake Lively is on this list is basically because she's a philanthropist and she gave, I think it was $2 million. There's different numbers everywhere. Somewhere it said only $200,000. She said that she never watched Gossip Girl and she didn't watch her on the Met Gala. And I'm like, maybe you didn't watch the internet for the last 6 months or the last year.
As if their entire marriage isn't basically a never-ending PR campaign disguised as a Twitter feud. She'll post about baking cookies while quietly brokering luxury brand deals behind the scenes. She giggles on red carpets, flashes that wide-eyed, dead-behind-the-eyes smile to paparazzi, and we all eat it up like she's not one of the most calculated public figures in Hollywood. This is not a woman. It's a marketing strategy.
She was listed between Serena Williams and Simone Biles, and what they say about her is that she is a civil rights leader, which is so offensive.
But her and Ryan apparently gave a bunch of money to NAACP's Legal Defense and Educational Fund.
And yet, for someone who hasn't headlined a single major film in years, she remains plastered across our feeds like she's curing diseases or pioneering new genres. What's her actual resume? A couple of movies from the early 2010s and a TV show she left over a decade ago? But sure, let's call her influential.
It's very clear what it is. The slave house, all of it. It's all very clear. Anybody who goes there, anybody who calls this place, it's not like they hide it from you. You have to be pretty dumb to not understand what actually happened there.
And Blake decided to get married at the Boone Plantation in South Carolina. That's where they got married. There's no slaves in that plantation right now, but you know, it was all about history, the braids. Were there ever slaves here? Did bad stuff happen here? How dare you get married here?
Just ignore the fact that her biggest cinematic contribution lately is walking in and out of premieres in color-coordinated outfits with Taylor Swift. Let's not pretend this inclusion wasn't meticulously plotted. Blake Lively is the queen of manufactured relevance.
And people were outraged. And I'm not kidding. I'm showing you this headline from NBC News. It says, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively apologize for plantation wedding. Now, this is published in 2020.
She's here because she made a contribution of $200,000 to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund amid criticism for previously having their wedding on a former plantation.
No new films, no new shows, but somehow front row at Chanel, trending on Instagram, featured in People's Best Dressed, and now on Time's 100 list. You could write an entire thesis on how she weaponizes celebrity proximity. Taylor Swift goes viral, Blake's there, Gigi Hadid launches something, Blake's tagging.
They have so much money. So giving away $2 million is like pocket money for them. It's nothing.
We'll probably never see again. And for her to be included is disgusting. But we know it's pay for play. People are researching how much it costs to actually be included in this.
What happened in 2019 was that Blake and Ryan were once again in desperate need of good PR. And I will say this time it wasn't their fault.
A film festival pops off. Suddenly she's in a designer gown, just supporting a friend. She doesn't show up to make a statement. She shows up to absorb other people's spotlight. And let's talk about the theft. Because for all her quirk and charm, Blake is a collector of other women's cultural capital. Remember when Cate Blanchett spent years being the quiet, intelligent face of Chanel's timeless campaign? That vanished the moment Blake rolled in.
It's honestly comedy at this point. I don't even think I'm offended anymore by anything that this degenerate does.
That seems unlike them. They would, keep donating money to make themselves worthy. This whole thing is just shocking to me. It's shocking to me. 100 of this year as a Titan for a donation they made that they were using to cover their own racism. And now they're suddenly 6 years later a Titan of the year.
With her retro gown PR blitz, one viral shot at the Met Gala, and suddenly she's the new voice of elegance. As if elegance is something you can lift off someone else's resume and slap on your own. She doesn't build waves. She waits for someone.
It's pretty bad. Oh, so they're putting in all the different comments that people put out. Instead of reading them there, I want to show you. And let me show you first. This is what she had to say about the honor. She also posted a story about it.
And the reality is they did give $2 million to fund social justice initiatives with the NIC. I guess after that donation, they were pressed up to give more to give. And so they both each gave $1 million each.
Someone else to make them, and then paddleboards in like she started The Current. She didn't invent the cool mom aesthetic, the Hollywood sweetheart archetype, or the effortless luxury housewife vibe. She just repackaged it, added an Instagram filter, and sold it back to us. She is not an influencer. She's a thief, and that's the real con. Because this isn't about talent. It's not about work. It's about manipulation.
She received glowing tribute inside the magazine from civil rights attorney Cheryl Lynn Eiffel, which, shame on you, Cheryl Lynn. And if she's part of the NAACP, it makes sense to me.
I just really loved those patchwork jeans that you have.
Magnolia Pearl.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my real life jeans.
About being so good at playing the fame game that you don't need to do anything real anymore. Blake Lively isn't influential. She's just extremely online. And the Time 100? It's not a list of the world's most important people anymore. It's a participation trophy for the best.
And they clearly ignored it. In fact, Blake has a history of romanticizing the Deep South with her weird blueberry muffins that she did. She has a history of weird kind of racist thing.
We're being called racist. What do? Well, we're rich. We're fabulously rich. We have money. And so they contacted the NAACP and wrote them a big check. Okay, that's what happened.
Performing algorithms. So congrats, Blake. You did it. You're everywhere and nowhere at once. A woman who's made a career out of showing up and smiling, a ghost in couture, a living Pinterest board, and now, officially, Time's idea of influence in 2025.
She also posted a story about it. It says, it's an honor to be acknowledged on the Time 100 list for 2025. To be written about by the great Cheryl Lynn Eiffel is not something I take lightly. The donation came after 7 years after the Hollywood couple got married on a former slave plantation in South Carolina, a move that has repeatedly brought them fierce criticism and for which Reynolds subsequently apologized.